I've become a big fan lately of Caleb Hammer. He just hit 100,000 subscribers. And so congrats on that. Now he has a program where he audits individuals' financials, digs deep into the details. And this is worth watching. This is a good one right here. It's maybe an extreme example for some, but there's definitely some that we can all learn from this.
How much do you make with that position?
About 2,100 a month.
Before taxes or after taxes?
Right now, I believe that is before taxes, but I get about $10 taken out every month, just in case.
What?
Yeah, what? $10 taken out. Is that for your taxes? Because if so, I mean, that's not going to be enough. 2,100 a month is respectable, but let's see where he goes with this.
I get like an extra $10 taken out for taxes for the end.
Okay, so $120 a
Yeah,
year?
yeah.
That wouldn't really cover any taxes,
Well,
much of any.
it's an advice I got from my father once, and I have done it ever since.
That's some old school advice. And, it's smart to set aside money for taxes so you don't have a huge burn later on, but $10 is enough. This is some old school advice.
Austin's a little expensive.
It is very expensive, and ironically, this is the best offer I got from a grad school.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, they're kind of forced to, right? Or else you wouldn't be able to survive. Is this your only job?
that is correct. Yes,
$2,100 a month, and you think that's before taxes?
yes.
Yeah. So this is a great example of how the cost of living has gone up so much in specific areas. Amongst as well as I'm here in Nashville, that's another expensive area. And so it's going to be tough in future years.
$1,800 a month. What is your rent?
My rent is $950.
Okay, disgusting. So that's half gone.
That is tough. And 950 rent. I mean, I'm sure that I'm sure it's not a bad place, but I'm sure that it's something that, maybe there's a cost saver there that you could look into.
Yep, that is correct.
What about utilities and everything?
Utilities add up to about 200 a month. Well, yeah, 200 a month. Yeah.
200 a month. In a lot of places when you're renting that, water's included in that, or maybe electricity. So I wonder what's costing so much? Is it just the air conditioning?
What is your overall financial picture right now?
Currently, like what I'm spending it all on.
No, like your just macro financial picture. Like,
Yeah, let's get into the bigger picture. I always encourage people to start there. Look at the big picture, and then we'll drill down into the details. So this is where you should be getting and where I should be with our budgets.
Yeah, so currently also have a car to pay off right now. Have the what's it called? The insurance for that. Um, and credit cards to pay off, of course.
I mean, that's a typical stack for so many people out there. You've got a car payment, he's got student loans, credit cards, and I mean, what margin does he even have to eat away at that?
I'm a master's candidate for scenic design.
okay, what are the job prospects after that? What's the return on investment for that?
It honestly depends. Usually, I'm planning on doing a minimum hourly rate of like $30 an hour. Especially since I have the name of YouTube behind me.
$30 an hour. I mean, that's tough. I mean, you without a degree, you could for sure be getting 15 out there in the marketplace. And then with some simple skills, I mean, it's
Not as much with UT, ironically, because UT is a public school.
Okay.
My undergrad, absolutely, I did. My undergrad was a private school,
Where'd you go for your undergrad?
Pace in New York City.
that is an expensive school. And again, expensive cost of living. I don't blame them for wanting to live in some of these great areas, but a lot of times you're gonna live there. You're gonna have the income to back it up.
So every degree from any institution is essentially worth the same thing. It's shown out in every research. But if you are someone who accelerates within a certain program that is able to get into a more difficult program to get into, it does show that in that overly competitive environment, you are more likely to succeed than someone who got into like a school of art where the acceptance rate is 100%.
That makes sense to me. I mean, I have a degree in the arts from my undergrad, and it's not what I do now, but it's foundational and it's something that, helped me get to the next
Which is
stage.
why I tried to get some skills that were outside of my realm as well. Like I do a lot of graphic design sometimes,
Okay.
as well as there's a little bit of fashion design in there that is a more recent occurrence.
This is something I'm encouraging more and more people to stack skills. And, it seems here he's got a few different avenues that he could pursue, but you don't want to get spread too thin. He wants to be a master of one of it.
For someone that has absolutely no money to survive and you spend over 50% of your income
Hmm.
on rent and utilities, there's like two on this entire page that is not X's, and every single one of those X's are like getting coffee, getting food, getting essentially.
Mm-hmm.
How are you possibly affording this?
College loans, baby.
No,
College loans, and he's living off college loans, and he's got credit card debt that he's hopefully paying the minimum on. We'll see, but this is just like stacking debt.
you are borrowing money so that you can around.
Okay.
Okay, is that okay?
Not really, no.
Why are you doing it then? How many semesters do you have left?
3.
So you could choose not to borrow an additional $15,000 if you cut back.
That's hard. It's so hard midstream to break some of those habits in your spending, and so that's why I encourage people before you ever go to school, really set the standard for yourself and how you're going to pay.
The question, well, you recognize that, maybe let's not borrow $15,000 the next semester. I was like, okay, so why are you actually considering?
It's a great question. Just because I don't love the lifestyle I'm living right now.
That's how because he's borrowing money to finance a lifestyle that he doesn't even love. And so, I mean, how many people are living a paycheck to paycheck and they hate it and they're stuck or think they are?
Meal prep.
Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly, ham and cheese. 2
Mhm.
seconds.
Mhm.
There's a billion ways around it. You can try to justify all you want,
Okay.
but continue.
Okay.
I mean, he's throwing the salt on it. I mean, this is something that sometimes you gotta be tough. You gotta speak truth, and the truth is that he's just been borrowing to pay for convenience and comfort.
That was for room and board, and ironically, when I was in New York City, it actually paid for it, which I was very surprised about.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a private institution in New York City, $30,000 of debt walking away from that 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun, but that's not even.
He must have been getting some good scholarships to walk away with only that amount of debt, only $30,000 with $30 an hour. It's going to take a lot of hours to pay that off.
This car. May as well just. Do you have Credit Karma on your phone?
Yes, I do actually.
674, but it's gone up since at some point.
Mm-hmm.
674 actually. Okay, not great, not terrible. You're kind of in the middle of the road with that one,
That is correct.
but
It's painful to see that that's the middle of the road for a bracket, a generation, for a life stage. And it's not the worst it could be. It could be better.
credit card use 77% of those credit cards. Oh, and we're at 77% utilization.
This is key. When people ask me, how do I improve my credit score? One of the big ways is to keep your utilization low. I mean, just a few percentage points, 2, 3, 4%. It's going to be much better than 70.
Okay, here's Department of Education, $20,000, then 6, then 5, then 5, then 4, 4, then 3, then 2, then 2, then 2, then 2, then 1, then 600, then 500. Whew.
And that he's listing out all the loans he has, every single one of those. And who knows, like every one of those is going to have a different rate, and chipping away. It's a psychological barrier that's so hard to overcome.
So then some of these are accruing interest. So the 2,209 is negative 10% paid off, and then another 2,000 negative 6, another 2,000 negative 1% paid off.
This is where a lot of people see, a pit of debt that they've dug for themselves, and they just don't put the shovel down. In order to get ahead of this.
I think I'm the one dying, but yeah.
Good, because the purpose of this right now is you need to see how dire the situation is. I'm going hard because you have just been living life like this doesn't matter, and you need to be awoken to the disaster you've gotten yourself in.
I mean, hey, he's speaking truth to him, and sometimes this is not necessarily the approach I take with my coaching clients. We have a longer relationship, and it's helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to 23% interest on this death of debt. The other credit card.
Credit card rates are so high, and when you have credit cards, people are seeing 20 or 25% at least, and it's just a
Okay. Okay, flat out, you cannot use credit cards. You are not a credit card person. What I would do, non-official financial advice, if I were in your shoes right now, today, in your pocket, I would pull out those credit cards and I would chop them up. I would put them I would light them on fire.
Like I said, no official financial advice, and then the text below, first advice. I mean, okay, yes, not a financial advisor, you should consult your own, but that's what I would do, is cut up those comments.
Some people can. Those people, they pay off all their balances and then take advantage of rewards. They never have a single cent of interest charged. You are having late fees, and 23% interest on thousands of dollars in debt.
And it's something where if you're not paying attention to utilization, all those steps, full disclosure, I have a credit card. Our family has a couple that we use. We go to Costco enough that done the math and it makes sense for us to go to Costco, to put a big order on their executive card, to get the percentage back and then pay it off immediately. I don't wait till the end of the month. I check our balances every week. And sometimes, when we have those big runs at Costco, I go ahead and pay it off right away. As soon as I spend the money, pay that credit card off and keep our utilization low. So big picture, it's something where when I have a coaching client, we take a look at their finances. I mean, I've got, friends, family coaching clients that have dozens of credit cards. That's an extreme example. And that's honestly, you have to look at your ROI of your time. Your time spent managing some big system just to get a few percentage points, you're focusing on the wrong side. And that's where this individual is as well, is that ignoring what they're really paying for: convenience, comfort, efficiency, or what seems like convenience, comfort, and efficiency. It's not actually any of those things when you're just delaying the stress and the burden by you go to fast food. It's like, anytime that you eat it, it feels good in the moment, but then, pretty soon after you just feel like garbage. And so this is a situation where maybe they do feel like garbage. Maybe Caleb is like bringing the hammer down and, throwing some salt in the wound just to have them understand that it's going to heal and they've got to take some attention to it and address it. And so, if that's you, if that's something that you're challenged with, then let me know and we can kind of unpack in a session how we can, manage this. And if not, go ahead and check out this video and we'll have another one for you next week.